You've imagined it, their life falling apart, losing the new partner, the reputation, the carefully constructed facade. Karma arriving exactly on schedule and doing what you couldn't. And then you felt guilty for thinking it. Today, I want to tell you why you shouldn't. Why revenge fantasies after narcissistic abuse are not only normal, they are actually a sign that something in you is working correctly. And then I want to give you the psychology behind why staying there will keep you stuck and what to do instead. Hi, my name is Michele Paradise, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you're already a subscriber. If you're not, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are a subscriber, please hit the notification button so that you don't miss any of my videos. I'm a trauma-informed therapist, and I blend together my professional learned knowledge and experience with my own personal experience as a narcissistic abuse survivor to help you navigate and heal the most important relationship in your life, which is the one with yourself. So let's get started. Let's start with the research, because this is important. When we experience injustice, and narcissistic abuse is a profound, sustained injustice, the brain's threat response activates in exactly the same way it does to physical danger. The amygdala doesn't distinguish between being punched and being systematically gaslit. Both register as threat, both demand resolution. The problem with narcissistic abuse specifically is that the resolution never comes in the way the brain needs to. There is no acknowledgement, no accountability, no movement where the narcissist looks at why or what they did and genuinely owns it. The abuse often ends not with clarity, but with more confusion, more gaslighting, more rewriting of history, more blame directed back at you. So the psyche does what it is designed to do when justice is denied. It creates it internally. The revenge fantasy is the brain's attempt to resolve an unresolved threat, to reach an ending that the real world refused to provide. Research in moral psychology, particularly the work of Jonathan Haidt, spelled Haidt, on moral emotions, shows that the desire for justice after wrongdoing is a universal human response. It is hardwired. It is not vindictiveness. It is your sense of right and wrong functioning exactly as it should. So the first thing I want you to take from this is stop pathologizing the fantasy. It is not evidence that you are bitter or broken or haven't moved on. It is evidence that you know what happened to you was wrong, and that matters. But here is where we need to get honest with each other. The fantasy is normal. Living inside it is costly. Every moment you spend rehearsing their downfall is a moment your nervous system is still in the relationship, still activated, still handing them the leading role in your internal world. The narcissist has likely moved on, or more accurately, found a new source of supply, that one, while you are expending genuine psychological energy on someone who is no longer even present in your life. There is also something more subtle happening. Waiting for karma, for external justice, keeps your healing contingent on something outside your control. It ties your sense of resolution to their consequences. And the painful truth is that narcissists often don't face obvious consequences. They are skilled at managing perception, at finding new people, at constructing new narratives. If your peace depends on their downfall, you may be waiting a very long time. This is not resignation. This is reclamation. So what do you actually do with this? The first step is to stop fighting the fantasy and start getting curious about it. When it arises, and it will, instead of indulging it or suppressing it, ask yourself, what need is it meeting? Is it the need to be vindicated, to be believed, to have your experience acknowledged? Getting specific about the underlying need points you toward where your healing actually needs to go. Because here's what I have found consistently in my practice. The revenge fantasy is rarely really about punishment. It is about being seen, about you being seen, about having your reality confirmed, about someone, anyone acknowledging that what happened to you was real and it was wrong. When you identify that as the core need, you can begin to meet it in ways that actually work. Through therapy, especially a therapist that does talking therapy coupled with somatic work. Through community, through your own unflinching witness of your own experience. The second practical step is what I call the redirect. When you notice the fantasy arising, consciously redirect your attention not to suppression, but to your own life. What are you building? What brings you genuine pleasure? What does the version of you who has fully healed look like? That version of you is not waiting for karma. That version of you is too busy being alive. It is. And the third, and this is the one that changed everything for me, is to redefine what winning actually looks like. We have been conditioned to think that justice means their suffering. But the most potent form of justice after narcissistic abuse is radical indifference, not performed indifference, genuine indifference. A life so grounded, so full, so authentically yours that they become completely irrelevant. Not because you forced yourself to stop caring, but because you gave your energy somewhere worthy of it. This is not settling. This is the real karma. And I know this on a personal level because I'm on the other side of it now. Wanting karma after narcissistic abuse is human. It is healthy. It is your psyche fighting for justice in the only way it knows how. But your freedom does not live in their consequences. It lives in your own reclamation, in the slow, deliberate process of building a life that has nothing to do with them. That is the work, and you are more than capable of it. If this resonated, please subscribe. I put out new content every week on narcissistic abuse recovery and rebuilding after toxic relationships. And tell me in the comments, have you ever felt guilty for wanting karma? I would like to hear from you, and I'll see you on the next one. All that remains for me to say is please stay safe and see you next time.